A very good morning. I'm just waiting for some other students to join in so that we can start the session out with. In the meantime, what I can advise all of the students who are joining today is keep your questions ready so I can read your questions in the comment section. And once I'm finished with my session today, I would be taking your questions. So we'll wait for some time till all the students have joined in, and then we'll start. For those who have joined, very good morning. I hope you all are doing good. You all are in a good health and staying good. Just a couple of time. Uh, I'm going to start off with the management training program. I'm just waiting for people to join in so nobody misses whatever I'm going to explain to you today. So basically, today's class is going to be about how you should prepare yourself for kitchen management training. Okay. So I'm hoping that you can listen to me. If yes, somebody can please type in yes in the comment section if my voice is clear so I can start off. Okay, so I've received yes. So okay, so a very warm welcome to all the students. I'm very glad that you have, chosen to come with me and learn how you can clear your kitchen management training program and how your journey, how you can plan your journey for being a chef. So before I start the session, I would like to, introduce myself a little. My name is Chef Samad Pant. I have worked with hotels like Hyatt, hotels like Radisson, hotels like ITC Sonar Bangla. I was a pre-opening team member of all the hotels, and I've also worked around the world. I have worked with cruise liners like Piano Princess. I have worked with cruise liners like Crystal Cruises. Now, Crystal Cruise is something which is a very luxury class cruise liner, and that is how I've also worked around the world. And I have a vast experience of say 18 years. From 18 years, I've been working in the industry, and I've mastered my skill in Italian food. However, now you can say I have learned majorly most of the cuisines in the world. But this is how a little brief was about myself. Alumni of IHM Hyderabad, passed out the college in 2002, and that was about my journey. Now, why I have decided to come online today is because these times we all are facing a very similar situation which I faced when I was in my college time. COVID is now in 2020 and 19. When I was in college, 2002, we faced a similar situation when Osama bin Laden bombarded the entire America, and we had a very campus interview. So I thought you and me have something in common is a poor campus interview. Now, how do we come over this? What is the thing that we have to come over this? One thing I want to ask all of you before I start the session is: should I speak in English or should I speak in Hindi? Which language do you want me to continue with? English or Hindi? Please type in your answers. So I'll start off the session in Hindi or either in English, whatever answers you give me. Okay, so English is the uh, preferred language that people want me to talk to in today's class. Okay, so I don't know which part of India you are from, which part of which college are you from, what which year you are in. So today I'm going to treat all of you as first year. Okay, so I'm going to start off how you should plan off your journey, how you should what exactly you should be doing to prepare yourself for the campus interviews. So when we take admission in a hotel management college, we have our seniors who always tell us that this is the picnic of 3 years. That is how in IHMs people say. I don't know about the private colleges because in IHMs it is a myth that people think it's a picnic for 3 years. Trust me, this is not a picnic. This is not an easy course to do with. This is not something, a time pass thing that you're doing. And especially if you want to be a chef, okay? So you have to start studying from when the time you enter your college. Now, why is this important? Now, what you have to study and how do you have to shape your career? I'm going to tell you all about this in today's class. Once I'm finished with the class, I will be taking up your questions. Whatever questions you have, I'll be taking up your questions. So when you enter a hotel management college, okay, when you enter a college, it's it's a complete new feeling for you. I'm very sure. I mean, hotel management is something which is still not very popular in India, and which is something which our family members have not done in past. We all have somebody who is a doctor in the family. We all have somebody who is an advocate in the family, or who is some into some other profession. But to find somebody who is from the hotel industry is a little rare, I would say. So there's nobody actually to guide you. That is actually what happened with me when I was in the college. There was nobody to guide me. What should I be studying? What books should I be referring? How should I be, shaping up my career? So the moment you enter your college, now English is not our prime language, it's not our first language. But fortunately or unfortunately, if you don't speak English, your first, you know, uh, something which will stop you from growing in this industry is your communication. So the first thing you want to learn is how to speak in English, how to communicate in English. Now this is something which is very important, because you know why? Because when you talk to your guest, you don't know which country the guest is coming from, you don't know which language the guest speaks, but English is a very common language. Now, before I start going further into the class, I want to also tell the people who are watching me, if they're in the final years, please don't be disheartened. Please don't think that your career is now spoiled because of COVID. I want to ask all of you one thing. What is the one thing people you think are going to do once COVID is over? Once we have a vaccine, or once this pandemic is over? Everybody has been trapped in their homes. And one thing they want to do is travel. And when people travel, which industry is going to boom? Is it the this is the only industry which is going to boom is the travel industry. And when the travel industry booms, automatically the hotel industry booms. So if not today you don't have a job, tomorrow for sure I can guarantee you're going to have a job. We're going to have a huge demand again for chefs. So if you want to become a chef, don't be disheartened if you don't have a job today. Even I passed the college with no job in my hand because of, thanks to Mr. Osama bin Laden, he bombarded the entire America, and the tourism was completely down. And we from IHM Hyderabad, we used to have 100% placement, and that time it was a horrible placement in our college. And if I would have gone disheartened that time, I would have never been somebody which I have become now. So don't be disheartened because you don't have a job right now. Tomorrow you don't know what is holding for you. We don't know what tomorrow brings in your life. Nobody knows. Nobody is so genius that who can predict what tomorrow can bring to your life. Okay, so what uh, you should improve on, first thing is your communication skills. You should always work in your communication skills. What books to study? I'm going to tell you. Do you read newspaper? If no, it's very saddening if you don't read the newspaper. You should always start reading newspaper, because newspaper is something which keeps you aware of what's happening around. See, I will come to the main topic later on, but this is also important. Your communication is important. Now, how can you improve your communication? You can read newspaper every day in the morning, read newspaper. Now, reading newspaper will do two things. It will improve your communication. At the same time, it will improve your general awareness. Now, when you sit for now, no matter how good chef you are, I have seen this personally, and I felt very sorry about my students who are excellent in kitchen, who have excellent kitchen chef skills, knife skills, but when they can't clear a GD. Now, GD is something which is the first and the foremost round to face any campus interview. You have to first face GD, and when you face GD, and if you can't speak in English, you're out. So no matter how much skills you have, no matter how good can you cook, this is all waste because you can't speak. Trust me, I have faced this. So that is why I have planned to educate my students for future. That is why I always want to get connected to the younger generation, because I don't want them to go through the same thing. So that is why communication is the first and the foremost thing to improve. So you have 3 years of 3 years of college time. That college time you can easily improve, become. English is not an alien language. We can always learn English. If you say Chinese, Spanish, they're tough to learn. English is very simple to learn, and somehow or the other we are connected to English. So even if today your English is weak, I can promise you in 6 months you can make your English fabulous. Now coming to which books should you read? When I was in college, there was a book called Theory of Cookery, which is still there. When I was in college, the sauces were still five or six, the mother sauces. There were still the same soups. There was still the same category of stocks, and they still stand the same. So when somebody comes to question you, they are not going to ask you something out of the world. They're going to ask you very simple questions. So stick to basics. Basics are very important, guys. You should prepare your basics. Read the Theory of Cookery. It's such a fantastic book to read. Theory of Cookery is such a fabulous book to read, and you have if you read the book by heart, Theory of Cookery, you would be. I can give you in writing. You're gonna clear any interview that you sit in, provided that is a campus interview for kitchen, because Theory of Cookery is a book which is designed only for kitchen. Now there's a book which has come out by my master, by somebody who I idolize, is Chef P.S. Bali. He has he has made a lot of books for kitchen. You should always refer those books. They are fabulous books to read on. You can really learn from those books. Read those books. And somebody is typing, nobody is hiring even for job training. Yes, I told you this is a bad time, but tomorrow it's not going to be the same. Tomorrow is different. So P.S. Bali is something that you should read, and Theory of Cookery is something that you should read. When I was in college, I studied the same soups. The same soups stand today. When I was in college, the six category of sauce which were there are still there. There's no new soup which has come out. There's no new sauce which has come out. There's no new stock that has come out, and there's no new questions that the interview person is going to ask you. So you should always and always and always read books. Now, if you want to become a chef, what happens is, I've seen in my batch, I've seen in my students, what they do is they just want to become a chef. They don't exactly know how the hotel industry is going to be, how long hours it's going to be, how difficult it's going to be, how the salary structure is going to be, and they join it and they get frustrated, and in a cap of a year or a 2 year time, they leave the industry. Now, this is not their fault, because nobody told them. Because when we join the industry, we when we take kitchen classes, we have been told that you will become executive chef. When we take housekeeping classes, we have been told that you become an executive housekeeper. When we take F&B service classes, we are told that you will become a F&B manager. This is not the reality, students. You don't wake up and become a executive chef one day. You have to pass the entire chain. And to pass the entire chain, it takes some time. you know it's not like you finish your course and you want to become a executive chef. It's not going to happen. You have to you I'll give you example of Indian cricket team. You no matter how good cricket you play, but you have to play Ranji first. You have to play your zonals first, and then you're selected for the national team. So no matter how good you can cook in your college time, but you have to go through the entire process of understanding the system, how things are going to be. How so? Imagine, I'll give you a very simple example, and I'll make sure that you will agree with me. Imagine you have a hotel and you want to hire a very good executive chef for yourself, for your hotel. So would you be hiring a chef who only know how to cook Indian cuisine, or would you be going for somebody who knows how to cook Indian cuisine, who knows how to cook French, who knows also how to cook Italian, also how to cook Chinese? Or would you only take somebody who is a master of one cuisine? I'm pretty sure you will not take somebody who's a master of single cuisine. You would love to hire somebody who can cook a lot of cuisines. So that is what an executive chef is. He should know a lot of cuisine. He should know a lot of knowledge. So to know a lot of cuisine, to have a lot of knowledge, what you have to do is you have to work hard. Only then you can improve your skills on. Okay, so if you want to become a chef, it is a very hard job. It is a very long hour standing job. It is in the initial stages. If you don't clear a KMT, it's a very low paid job. But if you stay there, if you continue to work hard, if you stay there for a longer time, you are going to excel for sure. I started my career as a entry level, because like I said, because we did not have a good campus. But I stayed in my ground. I did not run away. I did not run away because I was not getting off on Sunday. I did not run away because I was hardly getting any off, rather. Or I did not run away because the working hours for 12 hours or for 16 hours. But I stayed in my ground. And because I stayed in my ground, I have traveled the entire free. I'm very proud of being a chef. Yes, I had a very rough start, and it's the same. If you do not clear the KMT program, Kitchen Management Training Program, and you start from the scratch, for sure you're gonna have a rough time. For sure you're gonna have a hard time in the beginning. For sure you're gonna have a lower salary in the beginning. For sure you're gonna have very long working hours. But guys, you know what? When I just work for 3 years in the starting level, I work for 2 years with ITC Sonar Bangla, which is a beautiful property, and then I moved to Bombay, where I joined ITC, where I joined Grand Hyatt Bombay. I worked there for around 1 year or so, and then that was enough for me to take my flight, to flap my wings, and that is when I joined the cruise liners. And way back, I joined cruise liners way back in 2005, 2006, and way back that time my salary was incredible. I mean, which is something which in today's life also the hotel would not be providing to executive chefs. So that is how it is. If you work hard in the beginning, it's always going to pay you good. It's always going to pay you, return you solid benefits. So today you see your friend joining call center and earning way maybe thrice or four times more than what you are earning. I can promise you, if you have a slow and steady start in your career, chef line is something which will always put you in a higher side in the end of your career, or as you progress. You will always have demands, because it is something which is, you always wake up hungry. You don't wake up sick every morning. You don't wake up and you want to travel every morning. You don't wake up and you want to go to a dentist every morning. You don't wake up and you want to watch TV every morning. But you wake up every morning and something you want to do is to eat. Who's going to cook? Chefs. So your job is not going anywhere. Every people in this earth who wakes up in the morning is hungry. And when he or she is hungry, there's a vacancy, there's a job opportunity for you to grab. So whenever till the time the life exists, the mechanics can lose the jobs, the doctors can lose the jobs, the engineers can lose the job, but the chefs will never lose the job. Till the time the humans are alive, they're gonna stay hungry. And if they're hungry, they're gonna eat. And if they're gonna eat, somebody's gonna cook for them. And that is a job which is permanent, which is not going anywhere. Okay, so coming back to the books and what you should be studying. So start off with the basics. Please don't follow Instagram chefs. I mean, the modern chefs. The you have to be focused. Okay, today my students, they come to me and they tell me I want to be a chef. So I ask them, okay, you want to be a chef? That is a good thing. Which cuisine do you want to join? They don't know. Which cuisine they want to join? I don't know, chef, but I want to become a chef. This is not how it's going to work, because you have to work on your trade test. Because how hotels operate. If you want to become a chef, the interviewer who comes to you, they're going to ask you questions. Okay, you want to become a chef? He's going to ask you, what is your, what is the cuisine that you want to excel, or what is your solid points? How can I ask you questions? Which cuisines can I ask you questions in? And then that is where you fall flat. Now you have to give them something, that, okay, chef, I want to become a baker. Okay, sir, I want to become a Indian chef. Okay, I want to become a Italian chef. My Italian cuisine is good. That is how you can plan your interview, not the interview. Don't give a chance to your interviews to ask you questions. Give them, trap them. Tell them, my Italian cuisine is too good, or my pastry is too good, or my baking skills are too good, or I'm very good in my Indian cuisine. And that is how the interview will think, okay, let me he's challenging me that his Indian cuisine is good. Let me ask him questions from Indian cuisine. And then you have the ball in your court. He's going to ask you questions in Indian cuisine. You have the answers ready. Okay, so start working on a particular cuisine. You want to become a chef, but you have to realize which chef you want to become. You want to become a cold kitchen chef, you want to become a baker, you want to become a confectioner, or you want to become, what do you want to become? A chef, but in which cuisine? And that is how you want to shape up your interview and start studying. There are a lot of books you want to study. There are a lot of YouTube series that you can watch in. Okay, do not go for modern cuisines. Do not start preparing khichdi in a modern way. First, learn how khichdi is made. Or I see a lot of people doing modernization, modern Indian food. There's no need to do modern Indian food. First, you learn how to make authentic Indian food. Once you have learned how to make authentic Indian food, then you go on becoming how you can experiment with the deconstructed samosa, or with the chicken khichdi. That is how things are. But to experiment with samosa, you should know how to make samosa first, and then you should experiment with samosa. There is no harm in doing experiment with samosa, or making a deconstructed samosa. But to make this, you should always know first how to make a samosa. All right. So these are the few points that you can keep in mind. Improve your groomings, improve your communication skill, read newspaper, try to improve, try to read as much as you can, read theory of cookery, read P.S. Bali books. He has done a number of books. These are the things you can do. Start working on a particular cuisine. You have to brush up your basics. By basics, I say if you only study about soup, sauce, and stocks, that is enough. Guys, trust me, that is enough. Soup, sauce, and stocks are same from many years. Start studying about the vegetable cuts. Start studying about the vegetable family. If I ask you, can you distinguish the vegetable family? I'm sure I will be very happy if you know that. But if I'll ask you, how do you classify vegetables? Can you answer that? Maybe no. If yes, I would be very happy. If no, I don't know. Do you know about pigments? That is some questions which they ask. Now coming to trade tests, I would be coming to trade tests, and then I would be giving you a chance to type in your questions. I would be answering your questions. Now coming to trade tests, guys. If you're good enough to clear the campus interviews, if you're good enough to clear the JD, and the next thing, that something which the only kitchen people face is a trade test. For rest of the people, for F&B service, there is no trade test. For housekeeping, there is no demo. For front office, there is no demo asked. But fortunately or unfortunately, there is something which is asked by the people who want to join kitchen, is a trade test. Now, trade test is something that you can always work on. You have 3 years of your journey time in hotel management. If you're doing it from IHM, or if you are doing it from private college, some colleges run it for 4 years. 4 years, you can practice one menu, guys. Don't wait to go to the fourth year and then or the final year, and then don't wait for the hotel to give you a menu and then you go and make the menu. You will be very nervous. You have 3 years time. Start working on a menu. Start preparing a menu for yourself. Now, how does trade test work? Now, trade tests work in two ways. First way it works, one way it works, the hotel gives you a menu and you have to go and make a menu there, whatever the hotel gives you. The second one is the hotel gives you a liberty of making your own menu. So you can make your own menu, and then you go to the hotel and prepare the menu and show it to the chef. So if the hotel gives you your own menu, that is okay, you can't help it. But if the hotel gives you a liberty that you're called for the trade test and you have to make a menu of your own choice, and even then, if you're failing to make a menu of your own choice, then that is a shame, because you have all the time in your life to prepare a menu for yourself. Prepare a very easy 3-course menu or a 4-course menu, whatever you are comfortable in, whatever menu you feel you're good in, a continental cuisine or Indian cuisine, and make it for how many times, 10 times, 7 times, 8 times, I don't know, 20 times. And then when you call for the interviews, would you be nervous? No, because you know how to do it. So you would just do it by the blink of your eyes, and you would be doing it so well that the hotel would not be able to say no to you. They would have to hire you because your trade test would be so good. So that is how you can deal with the trade test. Now, even if the hotels like Oberoi's, the hotel like Taj, the hotel like Hyatt, the hotel like ITC, even if you're selected for those hotels and they call you for a trade test, you can still clear them. How? Now the seniors come into the picture here, because these hotels have a set pattern. These hotels have a set menu, which they always rotate. You know, if you're selected for a OCLD interview, or if you're selected for a Taj KMT program, talk to your seniors, ask what you were asked to cook, what they were asked to cook. And if you are able to, I can even share the menus with you, which Oberoi has been rotating from years, which Taj has been rotating for years, which ITC has been rotating for years. If they call you for a KMT and if they call you for a trade test, I mean, in the coming classes, I would be going deeper into what kind of menus they ask, how can you prepare for your trade test, what you should look when you're giving a trade test, what points you should consider when you're preparing a menu for yourself, and talk to your seniors what they were asked to cook when they were called for trade test for ITC, what they were asked to cook when they were called for trade test for their various hotels that they were called to, and start working on those menus. Try how you can improve those menus. Try how you can do a presentation. Work on the portion size. Work on the color combination. Work on the on the doneness of the thing. Work on how dry the menu looks, or how can you infuse some sauce in it. So that is how you should work on your trade test, and that is how you should work on your campus interviews. Okay. Now I'm giving you time to ask me questions. If you have any questions for me, I'm giving you time to type in all the questions that you have. I would be asking you, I would be giving you answers for the question that you want to ask me. I'm going through I'm going through some questions that you have asked me earlier. So if I'll see something that I can answer, I would be answering them right now. In the meantime, if you have further questions, please ask me questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead and type in questions, or if not now, you can leave in your question in the comment section. I would be answering you as and when I will get time. I would be replying you personally. When will the OCLD interviews start? Nobody can answer that. I've been in close touch with the hotels, and the situation right now is very sad. So nobody actually knows when the industry is going to hire, because right now the industry is on the verge of saving their present employees. So hiring new one is really, I think, is little difficult for them right now. But I'm sure as soon as the pandemic is over, it's going to be a flood, for tourists to come in, and that is when the industry will have a huge demand for the chefs, and that is when they will also might be starting hiring in bulk, and that is when you can come back in the business. Okay, somebody has asked me about uh, wait. Sanchit Sharma, you have asked me, chef, can you tell me how to crack steps program for the OC, for the Opais group of hotel industry? Are you hotels? Are you asking me about the steps from uh, Opais, the program? Imamul Hassan, I just answer about the OCLD. I don't know when it's going to start. I really don't know. Sanjay have asked me. I've finished my BSc from Marine Catering and Hotel Management. And how do we? That is what I have told you, Sanjay. You have to, if you have finished it from your college, you must have been a training and placement department where you can always sit for the interviews, and the hotel industry people, they come and they hire you for the department you're interested in, and that is how you take up a job. Shekhar, I just answered that you have to work on your communication skills. You have to start reading newspaper. You have to work. You have to work on your basic culinary skills. Read Theory of Cookery. It's a fantastic book to read on. Read all the basics of soup, sauce, and stock, and then watch a lot of food series. And we have a lot of time at home right now, so we have a lot of food series which is there in a lot of other networks like YouTube or Netflix. Watch them, and that will definitely going to help you. Ajit has asked me one thing they should focus who have joined IHM. You should focus on your grooming. You should focus on on your communication skills. You should focus on your basic food production knowledge if you want to become a chef. But like we have discussed in this class, that you just don't become a chef over a night. So you have to really prepare yourself. You have to be ready for the hard times. You have to be ready for the longer hour shift. You have to be ready for the you know not a very high package salary in the starting if you don't clear a KMT. But in case you clear a KMT, there are a lot of hotels which are providing a very higher salary. But that is when you clear a KMT. Okay, so I think okay, so I'm currently doing. A very good question. Weber has asked me what point to consider while selecting a particular cuisine to master. Okay, Weber, when you play cricket, did somebody tell you have to become a batsman, or did somebody tell you have to become a bowler? No, you did something. You choose to become a bowler or a batsman because you loved it. Now, which cuisine do you like? Do you like eating pizzas, or do you like eating naans, or do you like eating the fried rice? Which cuisine do you like to eat? That is a cuisine you try to master and try to start reading about. If I want to become a batsman, I would never read how to deliver off swinger. If I want to become a batsman, I will read how to do a square cut. And if I like Italian cuisine, I will read everything about Italian cuisine. However, it's a very fantastic question, Webu. So that is how the cuisine that you enjoy eating is, I think, is something which you should also enjoy. Would you enjoy cooking also, and you would also enjoy reading about it. So start reading or preparing the cuisine that you enjoy eating or that you love a lot. Fantastic question, Vaibhav. Roy, I just told you the books that you can read are Theory of Cookery and all the books by P.S. Bali. P.S. Bali is a fabulous chef. He's a fantastic chef. I was fortunate enough to start my career with P.S. Bali. He was my chef, P.S. Bali. He was my executive sous chef when I joined ITC Sonar Bangla in Calcutta. It's a fabulous city, and he has written a lot of books. You should really read his books. And if you don't enjoy reading, you can watch all the basics of food production from my channel. I've put everything soup, sauce, and stocks in my channel. So I think that is it for today's class. If you still have any more doubts to ask me, I would be more than happy to answer your questions. And uh, you know, uh, you can always drop in your questions in the comment section. I would be answering your queries from the comment section. I would also like to tell you that in future I would be taking classes on basics of food production. That is, when I will come online, I will teach you about the soups in detail. I will teach you about the sauce in detail. I will teach you about the stocks in details. I would be teaching you all the basics of kitchens in details. So we will be picking up topic one by one, and I will be taking your classes and explaining you everything about soup, sauce, stock, vegetable cuttings, uh, plant kingdom, fruit kingdom, and how useful is that for us, and how we can, about the vegetable pigments, everything about food production, about the different cuts of beef, about the different cuts of chicken, about the different cuts of fish. How would you choose the fish qualities to look in when you're choosing a fish. So I would be taking all these things, and I would be taking a deep session in about all the products that I've all the topics that I've just mentioned. Okay, so that is it for the class today. Thank you for joining in, and I hope all of you a very bright future ahead. Thank you.